Breaking news, the alleged CEO killer, Luigi Mangione, denied bail, as many people are sympathizing with him online tonight. The book Delay, Deny, Defend, which is about the health insurance industry's tactics, jumping to number 2 on Amazon's nonfiction bestsellers list. Number 2. Safe to say that book would never have been anywhere near number 2 if it were not for Luigi Mangione. Those 3 words, delay, deny, defend, were almost identical to the ones found on shell casings near the crime scene. And on Yelp, the McDonald's where he was apprehended has been hit with a flood of 1-star reviews, calling the employees, quote, snitches and rats. Jason Carroll is out front.
This Ivy League hottie named Luigi is the Robin Hood that we never knew that we needed.
I listened to Luigi's manifesto this morning 3 times and I cried. Honestly, it's beautiful and I agree with him.
At least he left a very powerful message and he highlighted how terrible the healthcare system is in America. I think he'll go down as a hero in history.
He had been a named suspect for less than 48 hours, and yet, within a fraction of that time, many in the world of social media had already made up their minds about Luigi Mangione.
I'm just eating it up because this is like regular everyday person becoming our hero, our vigilante.
These types of comments angering law enforcement and public officials.
I don't care your views about healthcare companies, because I don't think they're great right now either. But you do not celebrate the assassination of another human being who is just doing his job.
But interest in Mangione just continues to grow. On X, before his arrest announcement, he had just 64 followers. Now, more than 320,000 and counting. His initial 827 followers on Instagram grew exponentially Monday as we watched. By 3 o'clock, more than 32,000. An hour later, 53,000. By 5 o'clock Monday, more than 71,000 followers before that account was suspended. Many of the comments calling for his freedom and calling him a hero.
Hear me on this. He is no hero. The real hero in this story is the person who called 911 at McDonald's.
That McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, where a worker spotted the 26-year-old eating and called 911 Monday, targeted by Mangione's supporters.
What am I going to do? I'm going to stop eating at McDonald's.
It got so bad, Google had to remove reviews after that location was flooded with negative comments. Someone hung a banner above I-83 with the words deny, defend, oppose, healthcare for all, a reference to bullet casings left at the crime scene. Amazon pulled apparel and home goods featuring the phrase. Online, Mangione may be a folk hero to some, but offline and in person, no shortage of those condemning him.
Healthcare is a mess in this country, but to celebrate somebody's death is sickening.
The people in these higher positions, like CEOs, they need to look at themselves and their company and ask themselves, why are people so ready to condemn us? Why are they so willing to call someone who supposedly killed another human being a hero?
While some suspect support for Mangione is not all about rage against healthcare, but instead something far more subjective and superficial.
It's the halo effect, like, manifesting in real society.
You really?
Like, I truly believe so. Like, people treat people who are attractive, like, way differently.
People are, like, giving him leeway with this because they are fantasizing him a little bit, but I don't think violence should ever be the answer, no matter the circumstance.
Aaron, this could just end up being one of those cases that just ends up capturing the attention of the American people for a period of time. I mean, you look at what's happening right now on eBay at Less Checks, still selling merch related to this case. And the hashtag Free Luigi Mangione is something that's still trending even at this hour. Aaron.
Incredible. Jason, thank you very much. It was fascinating just to hear from all of those people. RJ Martin is back with me now. He's the owner of Surf Break Honolulu, HNL, a co-living community in Honolulu where he lived with and was good friends with Luigi Mangione, the suspected CEO killer. So, RJ, I'm glad to speak with you again. As things happen here, it's so important to have your input and insight because you know him better than well, many. I mean, most people that were close to him. So when you see the video of your friend Luigi shouting, entering court today to face these charges, you know, when he was basically resisting and he's fighting and he's screaming out, What do you think when you see that? Is that in any way the person that you know?
I'd like to comment on the video of him giving his valedictorian speech.
Yeah, go
that
ahead.
Thoughtful, humble, good listener. That's the Luigi I knew. Somebody who could lead a conversation, but at the same time listen more than he spoke. Somebody who really cared about those around him and had a larger mind that was socially conscious. Somebody that was just good to me and the other people that we lived together with at Surf Break.
And so, and I know you've talked about that's the person that you knew, obviously not the sort of anger and the rage that we saw today. And you said you didn't see or hear any anger or rage, even when he was talking about things like capitalism or housing or healthcare, things that he was had criticism for, but that it was an intellectual sort of criticism, as you described it to me before. He had posted a review for the Unabomber's manifesto online, and that's been available for a while for people to see, right? And I know as part of the book club that he had started with you at Surf Break, he had also put the Unabomber manifesto as something for that group. What did he say about that at the time?
We had a lively discussion about the manifesto as a group, a collective discussion, but nothing about it, I think, stood out more than other conversations that we had. And, frankly, I think after reading and skimming part of it, I don't think the ideas in it were that original in terms of, how we're destroying our planet and how we need to reevaluate our systems. So nothing about that conversation stuck out. He wasn't upset. He wasn't angry. I've never seen him upset or angry even. Definitely would put him in the chill, nonviolent category of people.
So last night, when we spoke, you talked about his back and how much that was just weighing on him and the pain, and that even a basic surfing lesson kept him in bed for a week. He had to get a new mattress. And police are now saying they think that back pain may be central to what happened here. I'm curious, though, when you talked about his social life a bit, when you and I had that conversation, we didn't get to talk about the implications of the pain that he was going through. Did he date when you knew him? Did he talk at all about his romantic life?
If you are in severe pain on and off, it's obviously going to affect all aspects of your life. Out of respect for his privacy and for the Surf Break community privacy, I don't want to comment at all on his dating or any of the other members dating while we live together.
Yeah, no, I don't mean whether they were dating. I just mean I know that you've talked a bit about the how the back pain that he had could have made it impossible for him to be physically intimate, and that this was something that may have been frustrating for him. As they try to understand sort of what he was going through, do you think that this could end up being something important?
I think that pain is something that can change our brain chemistry. I think it's something that changes our thoughts. And I don't know, because I don't have firsthand knowledge from him of how much pain he was in or what he was dealing with. But I do know, from personal experience and from other friends and family, that when somebody's suffering, the way they think about themselves and the world gets warped drastically. And a lot of times you go to dark places when you're in excruciating pain and, perhaps not receiving the care or the support that you need.